I was talking to my brother, also a fit guy, also someone who lifts, who goes to the gym, who works a lot of hours per week. And he was saying he was at work and all these people that are 10, 20, 30 years older than him were saying essentially, yeah, wow, you just have all this energy all the time and you're just able to do this and you're just able to do that. And you're always on the move and you're always working so hard. And he's like, yeah, I am. I have to. There's a reason for that. And they're like, yeah, it's honestly just because like you're young and it's good genetics. And he's like, okay, so essentially you going to McDonald's to fuel yourself isn't necessarily helping you, but me eating chicken and eating vegetables and like trying to actually sleep at night, like me doing all that isn't fixing anything. Like that's not helping me whatsoever. Like it's just because of my age that I'm able to do all these things and have all this great energy. And to them, they kind of just like stared at him like they don't even realize. And that's kind of how it's almost sad. At first I actually filmed this in frustration, but the more I think about it, the more I think, okay, this is almost sad that these people are at such a loss, they're coping so hard for why they don't have energy and why they can't do certain things and why they're overweight. And they just assume, well, yeah, I'm like 45 years old. So I'm just like out of shape now. That's how it is. And I start to think, do you think there are other 45-year-olds that are in shape? Then why do you think they can be in shape, but you can't be in shape? And then they actually start to think this through and they realize, oh, well, I mean, they probably like go to the gym or something. They probably eat pretty healthy. And you kind of look at them, and you're like, yeah. And why do you think you guys are in different positions? Well, because I don't eat that healthy and like I don't go to the gym or anything like that. Yeah, gee, man, like if you actually, it just blows my mind to think that people will never get lean. People will never change their habits. They have no concept of what it actually takes to achieve great health. And they just assume that everybody else falls into that position and that it's basically just their way of coping in terms of, well, you're just young and I had all that energy when I was younger. And it's like, yeah, you stopped using your body. You stopped moving. If you don't use it, you'll lose it. And that's what's happened to your body. That's what's happened to your energy. That's what happens when you don't properly fuel yourself, when you don't eat a certain amount of protein to keep you full, and you're ordering fries and a Coke every single time you go out to eat. Those calories start to add up. There's 3,500 calories in 1 pound of fat. That starts to add up. And a lot of these people, aside from just lacking the education, it's one thing to lack the education. It's another to make so many excuses that you can't even, it's just unrealistic, the amount of excuses that you can make for yourself. And like I said, I believe that is a super hard cope. And sometimes even recently with some of my Zoom calls with my clients, like we'll be hopping on our call, we'll be talking, I'll have them on my phone if it's more of a chill, laid back call. And my brother will be weighing himself there. And I'm like, hey, check this out. This is my brother. He's like on the scale right now, obviously a jacked dude, obviously a fit guy. And he's weighing himself. Like he just got up. He's getting ready for his day. He's got things going on. But you see he's eating healthy. He's weighing his food. He's tracking his body weight. He's paying attention to these things. And that is why he looks the way he looks. He doesn't want to track his body weight every single day. He doesn't want to weigh all the meals that he is eating with our food scale. He doesn't want to do that all the time. He doesn't always want to hit the gym. And that's another thing too. He'll go hit the gym after a long day at work. For him, he works a little bit later into the night. So he's essentially hitting the gym in the middle of the night and then coming home and going to sleep. Instead of just saying, you know what? I'm tired. I had a long day. I'm just going to go home and knock out. Try to get some recovery going. No, that's not at all. He's completely wired differently. And that's why these people are so shocked when they realize, oh my gosh, he has so much energy and he pushes so hard and he has such a great work ethic. And it's like, yeah, he's wired that way. That is part of who he has become. And that is part of who they will probably never become because they can't even fathom that. They think it's just their age and it's just the fact that they put these limiting factors on themselves to where they think they can't change or do anything. And it's like, no, your behavior needs to change. And if you're not willing to change your behavior, and if you're not willing to change who you are and the inputs that you're focusing on, you will never see actual success or true goals achieved because you can't change how you are. There's this one song that it kind of reminds me of. It's this rock song by Nothing More. It's some lyric goes, everybody wants to change the world, but nobody wants to change themselves. And it's funny because I remember listening to that song. It's a rock song. I remember listening to that as an angry teenager and thinking, well, I have all these genuine intentions and these people just don't see it like this. And I'm trying to do right. And people are just hating on this. And I was so angry. And then I realized when I would listen to that song all the time, because it's a little harder of a song, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I am trying to do so much to change the world and I can't even change myself. I can't even try to control my emotions or control my anger. I like it has to start with you. And so instead of you blaming the system or blaming your parents for how you grew up 20 years ago or blaming whatever, it's like, if you want to actually change, you are going to have to do something for you. Like nobody's going to hold your hand through this unless you are strictly reaching out for help and some sort of guidance. But at the same time, like even for my clients, I lay out a perfect system, a perfect plan. They have every single thing they need. They have unlimited access to me. But if they don't do any of the work, they're not going to get any of the results. And it goes vice versa too. It's like, yeah, they had to put in the work. Like all my clients who've received their crazy transformations, it is not because I gave them the perfect system. It is when you combine that system with that effort that they put in and that action that they take. It's like, yeah, I can give you everything in the world, but if you don't do it, it doesn't matter. And then on the flip side of things, like I can't take 100% credit for their transformation because I just gave them the layup to get their transformation. They essentially had to do everything to actually get it. I can't do your bicep curls for you. I can't do your barbell squats for you. I can't eat that salad for you. But all these people, my clients, that's what separates these clients, is that my clients versus the typical person, they came to me as typical people, and then they realize over time that that's not serving them anymore, and it's not doing anything for them because it's essentially just this cyclical effect of, all right, well, I'm going to want something, I'm going to get really motivated, go really hard, and then I'm going to burn out and give up. And then I'm going to get really motivated, I'm going to try really hard, I'm going to do some stuff, and I'm going to burn out, and I'm going to give up. And it's just this huge feedback loop of like, dude, if you don't change who you are, and if you don't change what you are doing, like that's the definition of insanity, right? Doing the same things over and over and expecting a different result. Like there's a certain amount of push and pull when it comes to that. Like, yeah, if you go to the gym twice, you're probably not going to lose 10 pounds. But at the same time, if you go to the gym over and over, and then maybe like, oh, my shoulder doesn't hurt as much doing that bench press, or like, hey, I started eating salad 3 times a week instead of never. And I instead of Coca-Cola, I'm having Diet Coke now. Things like that, it starts to kick in over time. But when you do the same thing over and over, expecting a different result, that is literally the definition of insanity. Everything is built on systems and data. When you have a system in place, you need to plug in the data to see, okay, what is this working? Okay, if I'm trying to lose weight, I should probably track my weight. That is a form of data that I need to be paying attention to. How do we track our weight? Well, body weight scale. How do we control whether we are gaining or losing weight? Calories. So now we have to track food as well. So all this data just gives us input into a system in which it's like, okay, well, you know, I work in the morning and then I have this. So if I can eat at this time, maybe I eat this many calories, maybe I front load my protein. Like there's a whole entire system that you can do without me getting super detailed into it. There's so many different ways that you can go about this in order to actually achieve your goals, but it has to start with your behavior and it has to start with your mentality and your willingness to actually change. Because if you're not willing to change your behavior, just assume you are going to stay stuck. If you tried to change as much as you made excuses, you'd probably be already where you want to be. So if this is something that resonated with you, where you feel like, oh my gosh, like this, I need to lock in so hard, but I need a system built around this. I have a busy life. I had a lot of things going on, but I need that accountability because I'm not going to do it on my own if I don't have someone holding me accountable. This is exactly what my clients have figured out, and this is why they work with me. There's a one-on-one coaching application in the description down below. Feel free to fill that out. Let me know what you're struggling with. Let me know what I can do for you. I'll reach out to you. I'll see what I can do. In the meantime, if anything in this video somewhat convinced you to slightly change your behavior, drop a like down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.